I think creatively, creative would have to be in there, and I think quirky. So I guess creatively quirky would be a good way of combining those two together. I've always done creative pursuits, and that's just something that I've just really enjoyed. And I have learned a couple of musical instruments, the drums being like the most recent that I learned. I've done fine art and photography at college, and more recently I did interior design as well. And I think the quirkiness is just me wanting to have that uniqueness and wanting to express my uniqueness, I guess, with others. So I've never really been one for following the crowd, or if I followed trends, then I would do to a certain extent, but then I would always want to put my own twist on it. And that would be just me expressing myself through that twist, I guess. So I guess, yeah, creatively quirky or quirkily creative will be the way that I would describe myself. I got into this work through my own clearing that I had, which is just amazing last year. And I had a master program running of alcoholism, and it was kind of like, oh my god, that makes so much sense, because even though I got to a point where I wasn't drinking a lot, there was it was an urge that I just could not get rid of, and it was something that it was making me unhappy. It really was making me unhappy, and I would feel guilty after having a drink, which is ridiculous because I wasn't really drinking a lot at all. So when this this person said that I'd got this program of alcoholism, I was just like, wow, that's mad, first of all. But then she cleared it with a pendulum, and I lost the urge. I kid you not, I lost the urge to drink at that point. Now I know that Akashic work can be that quick, and I think if you're energetically on a vibration where you're close to giving something up, and then something like this clearing happens, then that just really does move you to a different energetic state, and you've had that healing. However, that just set me off on a new journey on learning about the Akashic records, how it could help you, what it could offer, what it was, and how could I learn how to use the Akashic records to help others, and also to continue my own healing, my own journey. So I found Soul Realignment, and that was the modality and course that I wanted to find out more about. And it's just been a roller coaster of a ride, in the sense of like immense learning, trying to fit all of this information into my brain, and energetically taking it on board, and also getting over the kind of little voices in your head saying you can't do this, all that ego stuff that you get with doing anything new, first of all, because it's trying to obviously keep you safe, but also just wrapping my head around it. And there's a whole thing of wanting to be really good at something, and you don't quite trust yourself to do it. So there's just loads of doubts and fears and things that went along with that whole learning, which is a whole part of the process, which for me, I was doing new action, which is the whole aspect, a big aspect of soul realignment, the client doing new action and it feeling uncomfortable, and this was feeling very uncomfortable. However, you continue with it, and you break through that, and you then experience transformation. Did my first basic level last year, and I've added on quite a few other levels, which is a real benefit for the client and also for myself, because I can now intuitively just go into my spiritual toolbox and pick the correct reading or the most appropriate reading for the client to allow them to get clarity on an issue that they're that they're experiencing at that time. I will intuitively pick the most appropriate reading then, or thing to look at in their Akashic record, or maybe in a different element of their soul makeup, their soul blueprint, that will then help them move forward. So that's how I got into this work, and that was just experiencing my own healing, my own really big transformation, which then has now allowed me to gratefully help others. So that's how I got into this work.